We are creating an app called Stride that's going to help promote healthy eating in teen girls and help them gain confidence and overcome insecurities.
Why do girls need this?
There's so many things out there that's just telling you, you need to be skinny, you need to be perfect. No boys are ever going to like you if you don't look like this. And, like, I just don't agree with that. That's, like, not okay to just tell girls. Like, right now, your brain's still developing, and it's just going to remember those things for years. It's going to be really hard to deal with.
Welcome to the Future of Education podcast, hosted by MacKenzie Price. MacKenzie is the founder of a revolutionary new school model that's disrupting education through AI. Join us as we discuss the latest in education innovation.
These are my favorite podcasts. My favorite thing to do is talk to our students. So thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to be here. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Ella.
I'm Eva.
And what grade are you guys in?
7th grade.
7th grade. Okay. And how long have you been at Alpha School?
This is my 4th year.
This is my first month.
Your first month?
Yeah.
You started a month ago? Okay. What kind of school did you go to before?
I went to public school. I went to Hill Country Middle School.
Okay. You went to public school. And just give me like the top 3 ways that this feels different from your old school.
You can excel faster. Like, you have a lot more like life experiences in school. And I just like school a lot better when I'm here.
I'm glad to hear that. So here's one of the things I think is really interesting. And Ella, you've been here a lot longer, but you are like brand new off of understanding the difference. You know, I think so many people think socialization is like a super critical thing about school, which I actually agree it is. And you used to go to a bigger school with a lot of kids, and now you're at a way smaller school. What do you think about the socialization experience at this school compared to your traditional school?
I feel like you can know a lot of kids like a lot like better. Like at Hill Country, I didn't even know the names of everyone at my school. But like now I know like the names of everyone. I know a little bit like what they like and how they act and stuff.
Let's talk about the culture that you think traditional school creates compared to maybe this culture. Can you talk about like just what's the culture like at your old school?
I feel like it was very separated. Like there was multiple groups, like the boys and the girls were going to hang out together. There was like popular people and like unpopular people, and they wouldn't really mix that much.
And what about at Alpha? How does that experience compare?
I feel like we all really mix a lot. We all talk to the boys and stuff. There's not really an essence of like popular and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And what about the attitude towards academics and like school work at your old school versus at this school?
At Hill Country, they didn't really want to like excel. They just wanted to get a good grade in their class and just not really care. But here I feel like everyone wants to like excel and be the best.
What do you think encourages students here to want to excel and be great?
Well, we have like motivational models and incentives to do most of our work. And just like that feeling of being like, oh yeah, like going to talk to my family friends, oh yeah, I'm in 10th grade reading, or oh yeah, I'm in like 12th grade something else. It's just being able to like say that and have that like in yourself.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that we very much believe is that competence leads to confidence. Like when you're actually good at and you understand math, suddenly you're like, I kind of like math, right? It's pretty good. And when I'm understanding what I'm doing, and I think that's one of the challenges, you know, with traditional school is if you fall behind, it's really hard to figure out how to catch up. And then you're like, school's not that fun. So you were talking about motivation models that we have at our schools. What are some examples of the motivational models that you've each experienced here?
Well, something I have had is $250 shopping spree at Brand New Melville.
For doing what?
Just for, like, just doing all of my work, but, like, excelling in it and doing more than I should be doing. And just completing all my weekly goals and just doing a lot.
So you've been able to earn money and get paid for crushing your academic goals.
Yeah.
And your school pays you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. How was the shopping spree?
It was really fun.
Was it? That's very cool. What about you? What have you noticed? Any motivation models so far?
I haven't had my own motivational model, but I've seen like other people, like my friend's Mads. Every time she gets 100% for the week, so she does all her academics, she gets one piece of clothing.
Amazing. And her guide helps her find that?
Yeah.
So are you telling me that the way to a middle school girl's heart is shopping?
Well, at least for mine.
Yeah. What would you say to people who think it's wrong to pay kids or get clothes for kids for their academic work?
Well, that's just their opinion. That's most most people bad mouthing stuff, it's just because they're kind of mad about it and they're kind of insecure, like, oh wait, I don't get that, and just comparing themselves, in my opinion.
You know, one thing I think is interesting, and I'm curious if you guys would agree with it. I think at traditional school, like at the old school that you were at, you probably knew students who weren't doing very well in their academics, right?
Yeah.
And in general, do you think that it was that school's fault or the kids' fault that they weren't doing well?
Kind of a combination of both, because sometimes the teachers just wouldn't be the best teachers. Like, there's always good teachers and bad teachers. And then also, they just didn't have an incentive to, like, try hard. They just kind of tried to do the bare minimum.
Yeah. I mean, it feels to me like in traditional school, a lot of it's based on, like, how smart you are and how willing you are to do the work you need to do, like turn in your homework, study for the tests. And if a kid doesn't want to do that, it's like, well, that kid's lazy or he's not doing it. At our schools, we very much believe that if a child's not doing well, it's the school's fault because we're not motivating that kid the right way. We've got to do something else. And I think that's why we get really good results with our students. Have you guys noticed that? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I've noticed that when Ava first joined, like, it was like a huge thing. I just like noticed this difference from when she shadowed to like when she came.
Really? What do you think were the big differences? How have you grown in the last month?
I've definitely excelled a lot better. Like, when I was in public school, I kind of hated reading. But now I'm in like 8th grade reading, which is one grade above, and I'm very proud of that. So I feel like I can excel in reading.
Yeah.
That's
and
very cool.
She just seems happier, in my opinion.
I'm so glad to hear that. Why do you like reading more now? What made the difference?
At school, we kind of had to read like really boring articles about stuff that I didn't really care that much about. I mean, obviously, you can't make it like perfect where there's going to be always insanely fun articles, but I feel like they're more like current time and stuff, and that's really fun.
Okay, that's cool. And do you still feel like you're learning while you're reading? I know your level of reading has gone up. What else do you feel like you learn about when you're reading here?
Yeah, like I had an article about ancient Rome, and I didn't really know that much about ancient Rome, but now I feel like I can give like a quick brief of ancient Rome.
At your old school, were kids using AI?
Yes, at my old school, people were, well, not everyone, but some kids that kind of didn't want to do the work, they would just like slack off and just be like, oh, you do this AI, and teachers had to like prove that they did to give them a 0, which is really hard because it's like you can just switch a few words around and you can't really tell it's AI.
Yeah. And at this school, are students using AI?
They're using AI when they're allowed to, but they're not using AI to cheat.
Huh. Why do you think that is?
It's like something the teachers want. Well, the guides, what they want us to use. It's obviously they don't want us to cheat with it, but it's like more of a resource they give us. And I find that if I have that option to do something, then I'm going to use it more for what's needed and what's good for.
Using it as a tool as opposed to just a way to cheat and do your work.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's very cool. So when you reached out to me, Ella, sent an email to me that I thought was really wonderful. And you said, hey, we'd love to come on Future of Education podcast and talk about our Genesis project. And I said, I absolutely love that idea. But can you first let people know what a Genesis project is?
Genesis is a passion project at our school.
And what do you do in this?
It's just to explore your interests and like see if you can try to change something, like being your age, and prove people wrong that middle schoolers, they can do stuff if they're given the resources.
Okay, and how do you start a Genesis project?
Well, first we use like an Ikigai chart.
Okay, well, tell me what an Ikigai chart is.
It's really confusing. It's like this chart where it's like your passion, what job you want to do, like jobs that make money, and then you kind of like combine them all together to get like something you could do.
Yeah. It's kind of, Ikigai is this values workshop that helps people figure out what do they like, what are they good at, and what does the world need? And then when you figure out what that intersection is, it kind of helps give you a chance to find out like, oh, this is something I might want to pursue and an interest you have. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and what's your North Star?
North Star, that's kind of hard to explain. That's really hard to explain because it was really just like you drew North Star, and then you put your Ikigai chart on it, and then you put like what you want to do when you're older, and like what your passion is right now, what sport you do, and just like stuff about you can look at and just see like how it applies to you and how it applies to your passions.
Where you're headed and what kind of person you want to be and what you want to focus your time on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your Genesis project, tell me what your Genesis project is. Are you working together on this project?
Yes.
And then had you already started the project before she joined, or did you guys start together?
No, we were actually in one of our running workshops, and we were like running around. We were like, it'd be really helpful to like find something that can help people like overcome insecurities. We are creating an app called Stride that's going to help promote healthy eating in teen girls and help them gain confidence and overcome insecurities.
Why do girls need this?
There's so many things out there that's just telling you need to be skinny, you need to be perfect. No boys are ever going to like you if you don't look like this. And like, I just don't agree with that. That's like not okay to just tell girls. Like, right now, your brain's still developing and it's just going to remember those things for years, and it's going to be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, the same thing as Ella. It's like you have to do this or that to be like this and look like however. And people are going to be like, you want to look like this, but really you don't need to look like that. You just need to look like yourself and be yourself.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Have you guys ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
Comparison
times.
is the thief of joy. And it's very hard. No matter what I do, I'm never going to look like my friend or some actor or the person that is on TV or whatever, right? It's just about being confident in who you are. What do you think builds confidence in young women?
People just promoting that and like being told that at a young age. Like my parents always are like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty, oh, you're so smart. Like just like telling me that, and just it makes me feel really happy. And just not surrounding yourself with friends who don't believe that and like, oh, like you look fat in that. I'm like, that's not helping me like be friends with you or just help my mental health or anything like that. And I just don't like that.
Have you guys learned the secret to receiving a compliment?
Not really.
Okay, I'm gonna see how you do on that. I love the way that your eyes pop and just like the makeup you wear and like you look so pretty. You're so beautiful.
Oh, I like your shoes. They're really cute.
That's good too. Well, you know what? I don't know if you've seen this. Sometimes girls will do like, oh no, I'm not. I'm actually really, I hate my eyes or whatever. And the key is like, say thank you. You know, it's like, hey, thank you. And then giving a compliment back is always nice. But you'll see this a lot with especially women. They'll be quick to put themselves down. And like, that is always a no-no. Like I taught my girls early on, if someone gives you a compliment, like, thank you so much. Don't be like, oh no, I'm actually, I'm really whatever. Okay, so I have a test for you on if you know how to receive a compliment.
Okay.
Ella, your hair is so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I love your shoes.
Ava, you are so fit and healthy looking.
Thank you so much.
See, look at that. You crushed it. That was great. That's a good way to do it. Because it really is. It's like sometimes girls want to just bag on themselves and then get other people to do it too. Like, I know, I agree, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. So I love the way that you're going to take this app called Stride and you want to help influence teenage girls to be confident and not have insecurities and also figure out how they can be healthy. What are you doing with this app? What do you have to do to build an app?
Well, right now we're working on creating this AI like affirmation thing that you can just talk to, be like, oh, I hate my eyes, or I hate this about myself, and it'll just come back to you and like, no, that makes you like pretty, it's like
And unique and stuff like that.
it'll just like counteract that. And like I know like just saying, oh, you look pretty, like just saying that, it's not gonna really do much. Like I was using it the other day to test it. And it was like really, it was just like talking to like another girl, just
like a healthy girl.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what was an example of what you did? What was the conversation about?
For me to like test it, I was like, oh, I get bullied in school because of like this or that. And it was like, or like here, an example would be like, I get bullied in school because my eyes are so big. And they were like, and the AI was like, no, your eyes make you unique and beautiful. You shouldn't. And I'm sorry you get bullied, but you shouldn't listen to them.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the answer with confidence building and apps and things like that is to try to focus on like the physical aspect of maybe someone's insecurity and why it's okay? Or what do you think your app's goal is going to ultimately be?
It's mostly on just kind of to promote that healthy eating, because the more healthy you get, just the more you're going to feel good about yourself. And it's also focusing on the mental aspect of like when you've been told like, oh, you're ugly so many times, like, it gets in your head. It's really hard to get over that. And I've seen so many of my friends, like, it's really sad to see, but, like, they'll be like, oh, I hate myself. And I'm like, no, you're beautiful, and I want you to know that. And it's just, like, it just gets in their head so much, like, them telling themselves that it's just, like, sad to see, and, like, trying to combat that. And our app that we're creating is trying to combat that by just the AI model and just stuff like that.
Do you think teenage girls get told they're ugly a lot?
I think it's not by like friends. I think it's more of themselves telling them like that because they see something online and they're like, oh, I wish I could look like that. I'm so ugly because I don't. So I think it's like they get told that by people, but like kind of by themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really just like at Alpha, I don't see, like, I obviously do not really see everyone just being like, oh, like, you look fat in that. You shouldn't wear that more often. It's more like, oh, you look pretty in that. I really like that on you. And just, it's because it's a smaller community. It's more everyone just like
Uplifts each other.
That's one of our life skills.
Oh, it is. Tell me about that life skill.
One of the life skills we learn in our school is uplifting others. So if someone, like when we go to the power pole, is one of our like teamwork building exercises. If someone's like, oh, I'm scared to do this, you would say like, no, you can do this. You can do this because like you got this.
Yeah. Like one example from that is when I went to Power Pole with her, and there was this girl who was scared to go up there, and I'm like, no, I promise you, you're gonna be okay. We got you. Like, you're doing amazing. Just keep walking. And she got higher, but then she was just scared of heights, so she did come down. But she got higher, which I just felt like was a good thing to do.
Why do you think uplifting others is such an important life skill?
Because it can build like friendships and trust and stuff, and that's really important so that people like trust you and believe you whenever they say something.
And like it kind of just helps your mental state, being like getting told like, oh, you got this, and people like believing in you.
I think that's great. You mentioned one of the workshops. Ella, what's been one of your favorite workshops you've done?
One of my favorite workshops is called Trailblazers. It's this one, like, we learn like wildlife skills and like to go out there and just learn how to camp and like set up tents, archery, fishing, CPR and like first aid and stuff. It's so fun. I have a really good time there.
That's very cool. What's one of your favorite workshops now?
Probably Trailblazers. I'm in that with Ella. Or Community Cooks, which is we make food and then we give it to the homeless. And I feel like that's really fun because we can like help people.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So you've learned to cook.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining me. You guys are awesome. I'm glad you're having a great year. And I'm so glad you're having a good first month at school.
Thank you.
I will tell you, just separate, I think you made a really good decision of coming to this school.
You.
I'm excited for you. Yeah. And you're happy to have another friend. Amazing. Great. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to MacKenzie Price and the Future of Education podcast. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, now is the time to do it, so you can stay up to date on all our episodes. You can connect with MacKenzie on social media and be part of our daily conversation over on Instagram at futureof_education. For more info about the show and our guests, you can always visit futureofeducationpod.com. Lastly, if you're loving what you're learning, please leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be back in your feed soon, but until then, remember, kids are limitless, and it's our job to unlock their potential.